A bit chilly as the fans come in. That young man doesn't look cold at all. He's got on his muscle shirt on for Mother's Day here as we're getting set for baseball between the Tigers and Tribe. Final game in this 3-game weekend set. The Indians have just taken the field, and Anthony Reyes has taken the hill to face the Tigers. Enjoying the sunshine are the fans there. Beautiful, clear day here today in downtown Cleveland. Let's take a look at the lineup. First up for the Detroit Tigers, Curtis Granderson back in the leadoff spot. Placido Polanco on an 8-game hitting streak bats second. Clay Thomas is third. Miguel Cabrera back at first base today. Jeff Larish is the DH. Maglio Ordonez back in the lineup in right. Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and then Adam Everett round out the Tigers' 9.
Let's check out the numbers for Anthony Reyes, making his 6th start of the year. He is 1-0, a .684 earned run average. His last start came in Toronto, where he went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. He did walk 1, struck out 5. Had a no decision in that game as 2-run single by Lind in the 6th inning erased a 2-1 Toronto lead. In his career, he is 0-1 against Detroit. In regular season, he faced them when he was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. And let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by the Indians Team Shop at Great Northern Mall in North Olmsted. It's Francisco, Sizemore, and Chu in the outfield. DeRosa, Peralta, Cabrera, Martinez on the infield with Kelly Shopik doing the catching.
And let's take a look at the men in blue today. The umpires behind the plate is Fielden Culbreth. Chad Fairchild's over at first, Jim Wolf at second, and crew chief Brian Onora at third base this afternoon. It's 1:05, and we're set for baseball today here at Progressive Field. Curtis Granderson will lead it off for the Tigers. Hitting .256, back in the leadoff spot. He was in the 5-hole last night.
Yeah, led off game 1, number 5 hole last night, and back up into the leadoff spot today.
Curtis Granderson with that pink bat. Also has the pink armband on. That's for breast cancer awareness today for Mother's Day. A Major League Baseball sponsored item. And strike 1 from Anthony Reyes to begin things this afternoon. 55 degrees today at game time. The wind is blowing left to right about 10 miles per hour. Other than asking for maybe a few degrees warmer, Rick, almost a perfect day for a ball game.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like to see the sunshine.
Granderson hits that 1-1 pitch foul. Count goes to 1-2. Anthony Reyes for the Tribe today came over last July in a trade for pitching prospect Luis Perdomo, who was having a pretty good year in Akron last season, but Perdomo, 25 years old, almost out of that prospect radar. So the Indians sent him to St. Louis. And Anthony Reyes, first strikeout today as he gets Curtis Granderson swinging. So out number 1 here in the first inning, and that'll be Placido Polanco to the plate. And Anthony Reyes has some good movement on his pitches.
Well, that's a good changeup. He's got the curveball as well, and you can see Granderson off front thinking it's going to be the fastball, gets the changeup, and he gets strikeout number 1.
And one of the ironic things about trading Luis Perdomo to St. Louis last year, the Cardinals don't even have him anymore. He was left unprotected and was picked in the Rule 5 draft. But Perdomo not really going to play a role in this trade. But Anthony Reyes, a big role for the Tribe here in the starting rotation this season, once again after getting a slot in that rotation last August. Polanco fouls that one off, now 0-2. Placido Polanco currently on an 8-game hitting streak. During that time, he's batting .313.
Jim Leland supporting the Shades down there in the dugout today. He's got to be happy the way his team has played.
Yeah, they've been really playing well and especially pitching well.
Well, they're a game behind the Kansas City Royals coming into this ball game, 16-13. Kansas City got beat 1-0 last night out in L.A. A good ball game. Zach Greinke getting his first loss. Matched up against Joe Saunders. And, you know, Detroit doing it by pitching this year. They're 3rd in the league, and that was their problem, their Achilles heel in the last couple of years.
A pitch just missing inside. Good spot for Anthony Reyes. Well, the Tigers have also played good defense this year, too, Rick. They haven't committed an error this weekend. And the Tigers have only committed 16 all season. That's the second fewest among American League clubs. So you put good pitching with good defense, and that's a good formula for success. Grounder to third. 2 away. Mark DeRosa makes the play. Time now for today's injury report, brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg Paris, Ohio's injury lawyers since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Smith, Hafner, Lewis, Carroll, and Westbrook all out for the Tribe. And for Detroit, Guillen, Timms, Willis, Bonderman, and Trainer, though Dontrell Willis is slated to start this week when the Tigers go to Minnesota Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I believe he's going to start on Wednesday, so Willis will come back after going out on a rehab assignment for an anxiety disorder.
Well, they need to get him back. They signed him after the trade last year to another 3-year deal.
Cleet Thomas now the hitter. 1-1 on Cleet Thomas, the left fielder today. That pitch is low. 2-1 to Cleet Thomas. So the Tigers look for their first base runner. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first.
Look
Thomas,
out.
Boy, breaks that pink bat. Almost got Reyes. And a harmless grounder to second. Asdrubal Cabrera makes the play. First inning in the books for the Tigers. For the Tribe, coming up next, Grady Sizemore will lead it off. The first inning now on Mother's Day in downtown Cleveland. Nice day for a baseball game. Temperature at 55 degrees right now. Let's check in with the Indians lineup. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Sizemore leads it off, then Cabrera, Victor Martinez, who's hit .353 against the Tigers this year. Chu, DeRosa, DeLucci, then Ben Francisco, Johnny Peralta back in the lineup today at short, and Kelly Shopik hitting 9th.
The young rookie, 20 years old, Rick Porcello, making this start for the Tigers. His first start against the Indians in his career. A sinker baller. He's got a good sinker. He will throw the slider, and his out pitch is really a changeup. Good change. Tough on right-handed hitters.
His first pitch today is a strike on the inside corner. Rick Porcello was taken in the first round of the 2007 draft. Should get a look at Grady's numbers. Now 0-2 to the Indians' leadoff hitter. Porcello taken 27th overall. That was the draft following the year the Tigers went to the World Series, Rick, and they get the 27th pick, and they got a pretty good one here in Porcello.
Well, he's the first rookie to begin the season in the Tigers' rotation since Justin Verlander did it in '06. And we see Verlander, and we've seen him twice this year, and the kind of arm he has. This guy is supposed to have a good arm as well. Doesn't throw quite as hard because he's a sinker ball pitcher.
Sizemore lays off that sinker. Now 2-2 to Grady Sizemore.
You know, Porcello had a slider they took away from him. He also threw the curveball so he could concentrate. They felt that sinker and the slider were along the same speed. And then after he went out a couple of starts ago against the New York Yankees and he gave it up, 6 hits, 6 runs in 3 2/3 innings. He wanted to come back and add that slider. He felt a little more comfortable to it. We just may not see it as much. But Tuesday he went up against the Twins, a 4-hitter in 7 innings, walked 3, struck out 3, just 87 pitches, pretty tidy.
And the Tigers' pitching now has gone 22 consecutive innings without allowing a run. And this pitching staff for Detroit all of a sudden shaping up to be one of the better ones right now in the American League. Full count to Sizemore. Grady hits that one to second. Polanco retires Sizemore, and there's one away here in the bottom of the first.
Let's set the Tigers' defense for you behind Porcello this afternoon. And they are 8-2 in day games out of their 10 played. Thomas in left, Granderson in center, Ordonez is in right. Inge at third, Everett at short, Polanco at second, Cabrera at first with Laird behind the plate.
So now Asdrubal Cabrera to the plate, who had a 10-game hitting streak. Snapped last night. And that pitch is strike one. So Rick Porcello starting off, throwing strikes. He got ahead 0-2 to Sizemore. 0-1 here now to Asdrubal Cabrera. Now quickly 0-2 on the Tribe's second hitter today. Cabrera at second base this afternoon. Played at shortstop the first 2 games of this series. Cabrera fights that 0-2 pitch off into center field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Asdrubal Cabrera on 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like it got in on him a little bit, and he was able to fight it off and hit it into center field. So that pink bat works for Asdrubal. That ball's not a bad pitch. He just was up a little bit, made it a little easier for Asdrubal to get to it. So the first hit of the ball game today belongs to Cabrera.
That'll bring Victor Martinez to the plate. His numbers impressive. As he takes a look at a ball in the dirt. Good stop by catcher Gerald Laird. Let's take a look at today's league leaders. Brought to you by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. And how about batting average against right-handed pitchers? We've talked about Cabrera and Martinez, Rick, pretty much all season, and they're both getting it done against the righties.
Yes, they are.
Martinez, a ground ball, might get through the hole, but Polanco cuts it off. The only play to first. So that'll get Cabrera over to second base as Miguel Cabrera went for it, but couldn't get it on the dive.
I don't know if that was a dive or he just fell.
Pogo time at Alvin's Jewelers. Today at Alvin's, your last chance to buy one, get one piece of jewelry. The second piece is free. Buy one piece, second piece free. Support a Cleveland-owned family jeweler. Visit alvinsjewelers.com. So if you haven't gotten your Mother's Day gift, there's still time to get to Alvin's. The buy one, get one free, Rick. Take care of Mom and the wife.
Well, you took care of yours, right?
Yeah, with the shoes, the slider shoes that were given away
today. But you didn't buy one. Well, no, so I might have free.
I'm gonna have to go to Alvin's today after the ball game, and take care of the two.
Well,
for
we
one.
got the get one.
Yeah,
we got the go. You got to get
now
the
I got to
bow.
go get the buy. Yeah, exactly. It's the Shin-Soo Choo who reached base 3 times last night. A couple of base hits. Shin-Soo Choo again in that cleanup position with Travis Hafner still on the disabled list. So Asdrubal Cabrera in scoring position at second base with 2 down here in the first inning. And Shin-Soo Choo now with a 2-0 count on him. Shin-Soo likes hitting here at Progressive Field. He's batting .319 this season with the homer and 4 RBI. Now 3-0 to Choo. On deck is Mark DeRosa, a righty. And these 3 pitches, Rick, really haven't been that close.
Well, you know, sometimes, remember, this kid's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he's following 2 tough acts that were out there on Friday and Saturday night Verlander and Jackson I'm talking about. But, I mean, for this young kid, it's something nice to see. You go out there and a couple of your pitchers have success against the lineup, then you can take that and carry it over. But, you know, not too many 20-year-olds in the starting rotation for many ball clubs in baseball, if any.
2 years ago at this time, he was pitching in high school.
Yeah. When you think about it, he graduated in 2007. That's scary.
It's Justin Verlander, who pitched so well on Friday night, that 2-hit shutout. Look what he's done in his last 3 games.
Yeah, he's been as good as anybody in baseball. Because I witnessed 2 out of those 3 games, and it was very, very good.
Chu fights off the payoff pitch, so we'll do it again. 2 down, Cabrera at second base for the Tribe as Shin-Soo Choo looks to bring him home.
You know, the impressive thing of what the Tigers have done here, they're not giving you base runners. They only walked 3 in the series. They've struck out 18. And this is an Indians team that if they don't get the walk, that helps their rally. You know, I mean, if you make them hit their way on, they've had problems doing that this year. You fuel their offense by the walk, and it certainly helps them out a lot.
Chu hits that one in the air to left, but it'll twist foul and out of play.
Overall, when you look at the Indians, they're second in the league in walks with 130 as a team.
Now, the Indians have used the walk this year to their advantage, and you're right. Once they get those guys on base, that's when things can happen. But the Tribe right now trying to make it happen with Chu getting home Cabrera from second base. Season with runners in scoring position, Shin-Soo Choo batting .265. Again, the payoff pitch. Ball 4. So Shin-Soo Choo works the walk, and now Mark DeRosa to the plate with runners at first and second. A little conversation on the mound.
Well, you see Inge's doing a lot of the talking there, too. He and Gerald Laird talking about it before they try and settle down Rick Porcello or see how they want to try and get DeRosa out.
He's throwing 20 pitches here in this first inning, 12 of them for strikes. Now Mark DeRosa. An opportunity, 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. That pitch on the corner for a strike. DeRosa has had at least 70 runs batted in each of the last 3 seasons. I'd like to get one here. The 0-1. That's tight. So 1-1 now to Mark DeRosa. In tight again, so 2-1 now. As Mark DeRosa tries to work his way into a hitter's count with 2 away here in the first inning. Tribe with a couple of boards, still looking for their first run of the weekend against the Detroit pitching staff. Swing and a miss. 91 mile per hour on that 4-seam fastball. Seemed like that one rose just a little bit. Two and two now to Mark DeRosa with 2 out here in the first. And he's able to lay off that breaking ball, so the count full, and the runners will set sail here on the pitch. Well, if nothing else here in the first inning, Rick, these Tribe hitters have been able to work Porcello and see plenty of his pitches.
Well, yeah, they're making him work. He's all over.
DeRosa up the middle. A nice play by the shortstop. Dug out at first base by Miguel Cabrera on the throw from Adam Everett. So that's the end of the first inning. Tribe threatens but can't score. We head to the second here on Mother's Day. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. No score after one here on Sunday afternoon in downtown Cleveland. Sunshine and strike two. The leadoff hitter for the Tigers here in the second inning, Miguel Cabrera from pitcher Anthony Reyes. 1-1 now to Miguel Cabrera. Played first base on Friday, designated hitter last night, and back at first here today. Cabrera has enjoyed success against the Indians in his career. He enters today's game against Cleveland hitting .328 with 5 doubles, 11 homers, 28 runs batted in 29 games during his career. Covering the last 2 years in Detroit and an interleague series when he was with the Marlins back in '07.
He had a great year last year. A lot of power numbers.
We'll talk about players that are born to hit. That would fit Miguel Cabrera.
Well, originally when they made the trade to get Cabrera, they were going to put him at third base last year, and then they realized that he couldn't play there as Reyes gets his second strikeout.
So Anthony Reyes takes care of Miguel Cabrera. Time now for our Alltel text poll. Today's question, who do you think has the best starting pitching in the American League Central? Is it the Indians? How about the Tigers, White Sox, Royals, or Twins? Text your answer to 31962. We'll give you the results coming up later in today's game. Now Jeff Larish, the designated hitter tonight for the Tigers. Makes that one up high. Had a big triple last night to drive in Detroit's third run. Jeff Larish now 4 for 21 on the season. And has a 2-0 count. Now 3-0 to Larish, who also scored 2 runs last night. 1 for 3 overall. .3-0 pitch, over for a strike. There's Maglio Ordonez waiting on deck. He's in right field today for the Tigers, hitting in the 6th hole in manager Jim Leland's lineup.
Normally in that number 3 spot, but he hasn't been swinging the bat very well, so he dropped him down.
Maglio Ordonez, who first came up with the White Sox back in '97. Now the count full to Jeff Larish. And he hits that one high to right field. Back goes Chu. He's on the track, and this ball is gone. Home run for Jeff Larish, his second of the season. And once again, the Tigers on the board first here today.
Well, he went right at him. Anthony Reyes did not want to walk him and challenged him with a fastball and gave him a nice pitch to hit, and Larish did just that. He had another pitch. He likes to extend the arms, but watch this. Boy, right there. Comes right through the ball and location. Tigers will take a 1-0 lead here in the second inning as Larish hits his second home run of the year.
So the Tigers' first hit today is a homer. They lead it 1-0. Now Maglio Ordonez looks at strike one. Smile on the face of Jeff Larish. Now 1-1. Ordonez 1 for 3 last night with the walk. Or I beg your pardon, 2 nights ago on Friday evening. He grounds that one fair inside the line at third. Down into the corner. Ordonez rounds first. Will head into second. And Maglio Ordonez with a stand-up double here. Tigers have a runner at second base with 1 away. A 1 run already in.
This ball right over the bag, and Ordonez has really been concentrating on going the other way. But that must have been a changeup for him to really speed his bat up and get it right over the bag. And it did, just bounced right over the bag. Almost looked like it hit the backside of it. So an easy double for Ordonez, his very first double this year. How about that?
That's amazing. As you said, he's been struggling this year, but it's hard to believe whenever you think Magglio Ordonez, you think high average, you think doubles.
Right. When he goes the other way, you think RBIs. He's had a terrible start compared to a year ago.
Brandon Inge now looks at strike one, once again hitting in the 7-hole.
I think it goes to show you, I mean, the way the Tigers have been pitching this year. They're playing solid baseball. They're 3 games over 500, and Ordonez is struggling. So what does that tell you? Yeah. Give me the pitching.
Absolutely. Inge with the line drive to left field. Ordonez had to see it through, so he'll hold at third. And the Tigers now have runners at the corners with 1 away.
3 straight hits now for the Tigers. Inge just hits this one too hard, and he goes down, and that's a fastball away. And Inge is a pretty good low ball hitter. He turns it, hits it past Peralta. So now runners at the corners with just 1 out. Boy, he made a nice pitch. He strikes out Cabrera, and then it's boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Detroit right back. 3 straight hits.
So Detroit threatening for more here in the second inning with runners at first and third and 1 away. Gerald Laird is the batter. Last night he was 0 for 4, but had an RBI and got the first run of the game home with the ground out to short in the 7th. And ball 1 to Gerald Laird, former Texas Ranger. One good thing about having Laird bat here, Rick, is that he is a double play candidate. Could get you out of the inning.
Well, you've got to get that double play ball if you're Anthony Reyes. He had a strikeout and 2 ground balls in the first inning.
And right now he's 2-0 to Gerald Laird as Adam Everett, the 9th hitter in Detroit's order, awaits on deck.
The Indians as a team have turned the most double plays in the league. They've turned 41 double plays this year.
Now 3-0 to Gerald Laird. Anthony Reyes had a 3-up, 3-down first inning fairly easily, but now is running into some difficulty here in the second.
Location seems to be the problem.
There's Everett. There's a strike. So 3-1 now to Gerald Laird. In the hitter's count, the runner in scoring position and less than 2 out here for Detroit. Inge is running, but it's ball 4 to Gerald Laird. So now the bases are loaded as Anthony Reyes issues his first walk of the afternoon. And they're loaded for Adam Everett.
Well, redeem a Big Mac box lid for a buy one, get one free ticket this season. The offer applies to upper box seats for Monday home games this year, including the June 1st game against the Yankees. Bring your Big Mac box lids to any Indians team shop or the Progressive Field box office.
Carl Willis out to pay a visit to Anthony Reyes, and now Field Colbreth, the home plate umpire, will get out there and break it up. It's Eric Wedge. So the Tigers have him loaded for Adam Everett, who was off last night. On Friday night, he was 1 for 3 in the first game of this series.
Well, if you remember, it was about a week ago that Everett hit a grand slam against the Indians.
Fly ball to left. Ordonez tagging. Francisco catching. Here's the throw. It'll be over DeRosa offline. Shopik to second base. And everybody's safe for the Tigers. They're up 2-0.
Well, Everett does his job, and if you're going to make the throw from left field like that, you've got to get it down and hit your cutoff man. You allowed 2 other runners to advance. And actually, when Shopik comes up to catch this ball that's way offline, he's lucky the ball hits the runner or it would have been into center field. I mean, the throw's got to come down. Terrible throw by Francisco. Here comes Shopik to throw it at second. That ball hits the runner. If it doesn't, it may be in center field. Give him the sacrifice fly to Everett. It's a 2-0 lead now.
And Inge advances to third, Laird to second with 2 away. Back
That's
to
the
the
big
top of the
thing
order.
right now. I mean, a base hit, you get 2 more runs and you turn it into a huge inning.
Curtis Granderson now 1 for 6 in this series. Struck out his first time up today. Fouls that one off. Count even at 1. Curtis Granderson, who went to Illinois Chicago in the Horizon League. Not a lot of baseball players go to UIC as far as then signing professionally, and doing a little bit of a research with UIC. As far as they know, they said, this is their only player, Curtis Granderson, that's made it to the majors.
Well, they picked a good one.
Swing and a miss. So now 1-2 to Curtis Granderson, the Chicago native. Curtis Granderson, just a great guy, too. If you ever have a chance to talk to him, polite, well-spoken.
Yeah, well, he's worked on the set in the playoffs on television for a year. He did a nice job.
He sure did.
On TBS. He worked on the set with, I think it was Eckersley there and Cal Ripken. Did a very good job. Not an easy thing to do, but, you know, when they have the players give the insight to the American League team, it certainly adds to that.
Again, 1-2 on Granderson with Tigers at second and third. And another foul ball.
Now, they struck out Granderson in the first inning on that changeup, and there it was right there. He was able to, even though he was out front, get a piece of it to stay alive, and that's what you want to do as a hitter. Foul off that best pitch of his until hopefully he makes a mistake.
Anthony Reyes about to throw pitch number 40 this afternoon to Curtis Granderson. That one hit hard and through the hole. Base hit, 1 run in. Here comes Laird. Choose throw will hit the cutoff man. Or no, it won't. Went through Martinez, but both runs score.
Well, there's my point.
Absolutely.
Allowing that other guy to move up. That's an extra run now for the Tigers as Reyes came back with the fastball. So he did fall off the changeup until he got something he liked, and it's another big inning. It's a 4-run inning for the Tigers. And that ball is going to get through. Fastball up. His location in this inning has been poor. So Granderson makes it a 4-0 ball game. RBI 20 and 21. That is the 14th time now that the Indians have given up 4 or more in an inning this year. So and those are big innings to come back from.
Well, the Tribe down early here, and the Indians still looking for their first run this weekend. So to go down 4-0, not exactly what the Tribe wanted to do today. It's Larish with the home run, then Ordonez, Inge, and Laird have all touched home plate this inning for Detroit. And now Placido Polanco with the runner on first base and a 1-0 count.
Well, Granderson should be off and running here soon. Reyes holds the ball because Reyes is a guy that it's about 1-5 to home plate. Granderson, a guy that can steal bases. He has stolen 4 out of 5. You have an early lead, you stay aggressive, and you try and put your pedal to the metal here in the final game of a 3-game series when you've already won the first 2.
There goes Granderson. Polanco fouls that away. So 1-1 now to Placido Polanco as Curtis Granderson tries to get into scoring position, and Tigers try to add some more. Already had 4-0, all 4 runs in the second inning, and there's the slider shoes. That young man take yours, Rick? He's got
no, there's plenty for everybody. 14 and under, and all ladies today out at the gates get the slider slippers.
Plenty of kids on the plaza earlier today having a good time. And Reyes going to get out of the inning with the comebacker from Polanco. But 4 runs score for the Tigers. They lead it 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Mother's Day, and plenty of fans here with some well wishes there to Grammy Rush. See plenty of moms coming in with the kids, spending a day with mom at the ballpark. Now David DeLucci to lead it off for the Tribe here in the second inning, trailing by 4, and Rick Porcello starts him off with a strike. It took Porcello 26 pitches to get through the first inning, but he did so without allowing a run. As you take a look at the numbers on David DeLucci, the Tribe DH today. It's a ball outside, count even at 1. DeLucci hits that one to second. Polanco to one knee to make the play. And there's one out. David DeLucci on Mother's Day, here with a tribute to his mom.
I remember my mom taking me in the backyard an awful lot, playing wiffle ball with me. She was a great softball player, so I used to watch her play at my grandfather's softball fields. And she tried to make every game when I was growing up that she could, and she still flies out to Cleveland to see me play as much as she can, so she's been a big inspiration for me.
So one out here in the second inning. Here's David. And now Ben Francisco, the batter. 2-0 to Ben Francisco, the Tribe left fielder today. Hitting in the 7-hole and manager Eric Wedge's lineup. Trying to get something going against Rick Porcello, who's now at 3-0. Three and one on the inside corner. Francisco didn't think so. Now a grounder to short. Everett throws across, and there's 2 away.
Well, visit any Indians team shop or ballpark stands for a great merchandise and ticket deal. If you spend $45 or more, you will receive vouchers for tickets to a game this May. At the Indians team shops are your source for authentic Indians merchandise.
I'll try with some great deals this year. That's one of them. Al Kelly or Johnny Peralta is the batter, hitting in the 8-hole. Johnny Peralta didn't play in Friday or Saturday night's games. Has an 0-1 count from 20-year-old right-hander Rick Porcello.
Well, all 5 outs have come on the ground, and he's a ground ball pitcher with that sinker. He averages over 2 ground balls per fly ball.
Boy, he broke that bet, but Johnny Peralta got it into right for the Tribe's second hit today. So a runner aboard with 2 outs. We'll watch this again.
Well, that's the second bat that exploded today. Was that a pink one?
No,
or was that a regular
that's
one?
That's a regular one.
Okay, one of the Tigers players had that pink one explode.
Yeah.
But you're right, that was regular. Goes right to the mound, but it goes down with a base hit in it.
Now Kelly Shopik, the runner on first base, and 2 outs. That pitch low and in. Kelly Shopik, of course, had 5 extra base hits in 1 game last season. Only the second AL player ever to do so. The other was Lou Boudreau from the Indians. Shopik gets a base hit to left. So the Indians, a couple of base hits now with 2 away here in the second.
Yep, Kelly Shopik finds a hole between short and third, so now they're starting to, that ball he left middle of the plate, so that's a mistake that he takes advantage of. Gets it past a diving Brandon Inge, so back-to-back singles with 2 outs, turning it over to the top of the lineup.
And now Grady Sizemore, who grounded out to Polanco his first time up. This season with runners in scoring position, Sizemore batting .200, 7 for 35. So he swings and misses at the first pitch, but he does have 16 runs batted in that situation. So He's getting him home. We're going to need a hit here to do so.
Well, that was the first time the Indians have had back-to-back hits since the 5th inning of Thursday's ball game, my friend. That was in Boston.
It's been a while. Count even now on Grady Sizemore.
0 for 11 in the series with runners in scoring position.
Tribe looking for their first run on the weekend. Detroit pitchers now over 23 innings consecutively without allowing a run, which goes back also to the Minnesota series before this one here against the Tribe. 2-1 now to Grady Sizemore. That one fouled off. Out of play. So now 2-2 to Sizemore, who's looking to get the Tribe on the board here. That pitch hit up the alley in right center, but here comes Ordonez. Won't get there. Tribe scores. 4-1 Tigers as Johnny Peralta touches home plate and a 2-out RBI single for Grady Sizemore.
Well, he ended up hitting Porcello's best pitch. It was off the end of the bat. That's why it fell in front of Maglio Ordonez. It's a changeup. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it, and you got to love any base hit that can drive in a run in this series. The first time the Indians have scored, and you can see it was a good location. It was a good pitch, but Grady was able to get a piece of it down in the strike zone. It falls in front, and the Indians are on the board now. 3 straight hits. It is a 4-1 ball game, and that's going to bring the manager out to the mound, and Jimmy Leland wants to talk to his young rookie. Deliver his message, and we'll run back in.
So now Kelly Shopping at second base. Grady Sizemore at first with 2 outs. 4-1 as the Tribe gets a run home, and the consecutive scoreless inning streak for the Tigers snapped shy of 24. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. He singled his first time up. Pitch a little bit high. So Rick Porcello now is throwing 44 pitches, Rick. So the Tribe offense today definitely doing a better job against Tiger pitching, at least early.
Especially when he had the first 2 outs easily.
There's a strike to Cabrera. Struble with that batting average now at .321. Indians at first and second, 2 away, but a run home here in the second inning. Cabrera swings and misses. And 92 mile per hour pitch. Porcello's got both a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball, and we'll see quite a bit of both of those. Now the 1-2 to Cabrera. Stays alive. So the Tribe now getting a second look here at Rick Porcello through the order in only the second inning. That pitch up high. You can just see the confidence with Asdrubal Cabrera, Rick, when he's at the plate looking for his pitch. You can always tell when a hitter's locked in. What's that feeling like when you know that, hey, I'm hitting the ball pretty well?
Well, you're seeing the ball well. You can tell he's got a confidence and has had this year.
Well, ground out there to second. The inning's over. But the Tribe gets a run. 2 complete on Mother's Day at Progressive Field. 4-1. Tigers have the lead. We head to the third inning today, and that sign there, sorry, Daddy, Mommy's in love with Grady. Go try. So here's the sign there, held up by, I think that's Mom's. She's in love with Grady. Sorry, Daddy, Mommy's in love with Grady.
Well, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. He's going to say, tell Grady to buy her dinner tonight.
That's a good idea. Top of the third, and Clee Thomas to lead it off for Detroit. Grounded out to second his first time up.
Well, for Anthony Reyes, it'd be nice to come out and have a nice quick inning and put a 0 on the board because the Indians did respond. They got a run on the board after that 4 spot for Detroit in the second inning. It would be nice to have a quick one.
Almost, by another 15 feet. Maybe my go-go gadget arm could have gotten that foul ball.
Well, if it comes up here a little faster, I want to see if you duck or you get after it. I think you're going to be ducking, like most people.
Yeah, I caught one in the scoreboard room about 4 years ago.
Did you?
Yeah. It was a bit of a blooper, though, I'll be fair.
Okay. Well, you're smart getting out of the way. These things come a little harder than most people think.
2-1 now to Clee Thomas. The leadoff hitter here for the Tigers in the third. Now 3-1. Pitch just misses, and Clee Thomas on with the walk to begin the third inning here for the Tigers. Let's get a Ford Sports update. Back to the studio we go. Dave, what's going on?
Well, now we're going to check in on the Yankees and the Orioles, top of 1, and it's Mark Teixeira. So long, goodbye, his 7th of the year. Yankees up 1-0 in the first. Guys, with Teixeira and A-Rod back-to-back, we'll see how that lineup shapes up, huh?
That's a good point, Dave. Already, with A-Rod back and Teixeira going deep, should be tough. Meantime, how about a double play? Tribe turns it, 5-4-3. And 2 away here in the third inning is Miguel Cabrera. Bounces into the twin killing.
Just what Anthony Reyes needed. He gets a tough hitter to hit that ground ball. So DeRosa over to Cabrera to Martinez for the 42nd time on the year. They have turned it. They needed that.
Nice turn at second by Asdrubal Cabrera. Played it short the first 2 games. Now back at second, where he's played the majority of his major league career here with the Tribe. Swing and a miss now to Jeff Larish, the Tiger designated hitter. Now, Rick, is that a big deal at all to go from short a couple of games and back to second?
No, not at all. You're in the middle of the diamond, and Cabrera has primarily been playing second base. He played shortstop the last couple of games. I don't think it's any big deal at all.
Asdrubal Cabrera also swinging that hot stick for the Tribe.
It doesn't matter where you play. When you walk into the clubhouse and you see your name in 1 through 9, that's where you'll want it. Good inning.
Yep, Jeff Larish down on strikes. Reyes' third K of the day. We'll head to the bottom of the third. 4-1 Detroit. To the bottom of the third, and the meat of the order for the Tribe as the Mother's Day signs are out here today on a sun-splashed afternoon at Progressive Field. Everybody seems to like Mom and Grady. They seem to be the two most popular. So Martinez, Chu, and DeRosa, hitters 3, 4, and 5. Here in the third inning. Victor Martinez grounded out his first time up.
I did see a huge section here this weekend that had Al's Gals.
Really? I haven't seen that.
That was a huge section
Well, I'll have
up
to
in
find
the
that.
upper deck.
2-0 now to Victor Martinez.
Well, he had over 30 pitch inning last inning. Let's see if they can get to him again. He had a easy inning going, got the first 2 outs before 3 singles. Of course, they weren't hit all that hard. He made good pitches, but they were able to find holes, and that's the first run they had in the series. So hopefully that may wake the offense up a little bit.
That 2-0 pitch draws a look from Victor Martinez as it was high and tight. Now, Victor called time as Porcello tried to get into that windup quickly on that last pitch, and then the next one goes high and hard.
Well, he's really going to take his time now.
That one down the middle. 3-1 now to Victor Martinez. The 3-1 pitch hit foul. So a full count now to Victor Martinez, who's hitting .370 this year at Progressive Field. And has gotten a hit in 17 of his last 18 games. That payoff pitch is inside, so Martinez aboard as the Indians get their leadoff hitter on here in the third inning. Time now for a look at yesterday's great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips, and it's our next batter, Shin-Soo Choo, who laced this double last night at a couple of hits for the Tribe.
One of the few guys that he was able to hit that slider from Edwin Jackson. Took it the other way.
Relax, you're at Great Clips. Now Shin-Soo Choo, who walked his first time up, with Victor Martinez on first and nobody out here in the third inning. That pitch in there for a strike. Rick Porcello with a tie to the Tribe. His grandfather, Sam Denty, played on the 1954 World Series team.
Here in Cleveland.
Here
what
in
position
Cleveland.
did he play? Do you know?
He was a shortstop. And in 1954, he batted .266 with a homer and 19 RBI. In the World Series, he scored a run, played in 3 games.
Huh.
And when he played for the Senators, Rick, he played in Major League Baseball from 47 to 55. They had a slogan, "Win plenty with Denty."
Well, that's interesting. You go back to the 54 team, although they did get to the playoffs, they got to the World Series, didn't win it. But at least he had an opportunity to play in it.
So Sam Denty, the former Indian, the grandfather of Rick Porcello, who just struck out Shin-Soo Choo on a nasty breaking pitch.
That's his first strikeout of the day. And I mean, when he slows his body down, he's got a pretty good curveball. Look at that. I mean, that's a big sweeping curveball. 74 miles per hour.
And that's about as hard as he'll throw that curve.
Well, that's fine. You take it off, you figure he's throwing 91 with a sinker going down, 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 and then you really back it off with a slow hook every now and then. Like right there. And if for him, and he's going to learn because he's only 20 years old, when you throw that curveball first pitch, you don't have to throw a nasty one. Just throw it for strike one because the hitters haven't faced you before. They're going to take it for the most part. And even if they do swing at it, I doubt if they're going to hit it hard on the very first pitch.
Yeah, Rick Porcello, obviously, with a ton of ability. Just 20 years old here today. Mark DeRosa now in a hitter's count at 2-0. DeRosa grounded out his first time up. Victor Martinez on first base with 1 out here in the third. That one hit to center. But Granderson has Got plenty of room. 2 down. Time now for our Subway Fresh Face of the game. And today we feature Jordan Brown, first baseman outfielder from Columbus. 2 for 4 with the 2-run double last night as the Clippers topped Pawtucket. He's done very well here this month and this season. His numbers are very impressive. That's our Subway Fresh Face of the game. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. And Jordan Brown was left off the 40-man roster. He's never put on, I should say, in this past offseason. And he came into this year with something to prove. And so far he's done it down in Columbus. He felt like maybe he should have been one of the guys protected. He had a good couple of minor league campaigns in 05 and 06. Had to deal with a little bit of an injury issue last year, but Jordan Brown off to a great start. Problem is, as we've talked about,
again,
he plays first base and outfield like a lot of players in the system. Jordan Brown, good to see what he's doing. Michael Aubrey down there off to a great start as well. We saw Michael up here last year, and Michael Aubrey.
What position does Michael play?
First base. How about that? But, you know, with Michael Aubrey, Rick, injuries have always been the thing that's kept him from fully reaching his potential. And let's hope that he can do it. Now, he's a very good defensive first baseman, Michael Aubrey. He was also swinging that stick
Watched him get his first major league home run in Cincinnati last year. As a matter of fact, that was his first hit. The same thing that Matt Laporta did this year. His first hit was a home run. Aubrey was the last one to do that, and that was last year in Cincinnati.
2-0 now to David DeLucci with 2 outs, and Martinez on first, now 3-0. And, Rick, when you go up and down, it seems sometimes, though, players in their late 20s, Casey Blake was a prime example. Once you reach that point, sometimes going up and down, you can draw on that experience and develop late.
Well, I guess you can. You've got to have the persistence. I always felt once you get an opportunity to get to the big leagues, you better take that advantage and walk through that door and never let it close on you. Don't go down. That up and down elevator is no fun. It's only one place to play, and that's the big leagues.
DeLucci tops that one. Porcello off the mound to make the play. And the third inning is history here at Progressive Field. We go to the fourth. 4-1 Detroit. Fourth inning for Detroit. Tigers lead this one 4-1 as we look down from the Panini Scam atop Progressive Field.
Sun-splashed afternoon, Mother's Day.
Yeah, gorgeous here today in downtown Cleveland. One and 0 now to Maglio Ordonez, who doubled and scored his first time up back in the second inning. Now 2-0 as Anthony Reyes has thrown 54 pitches here this afternoon, 33 of them for strikes. Now 3-0 to Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez hitting just 135 in his last 14 games coming into today. Takes that one all the way. Today's scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Grounder foul, 3-2 now. Gene Lamont, Tigers' third base coach. Makes a young lady very happy there.
Well, Gene Lamont, a former manager of the White Sox and the Pirates, and they had Lloyd McClendon, who was a former manager. So they have a staff that, you know, they don't have a bench coach. Jim Leland does not, and really doesn't need one because of that situation right there. You've got managers all over the place.
Well, you said Lamont, McClendon. One of his former players with the Pirates, Andy Van Slyke, is the first base coach.
Yes.
Another foul ball for Ordonez. It's working Anthony Reyes here to lead off the top of the fourth inning. And Ordonez tried to check but fouled that one off. So the count stays full. Anthony Reyes went to California High School in Whittier. And Whittier, California is also famous for being the hometown of former President Richard Nixon. High and tight for ball 4, and once again the Tigers with the leadoff batter aboard here as he'll head down to first base. Well, our Senior PGA Championship Challenge keyword of the day is cart. If you would like the chance to win tickets to the Senior PGA along with autographed flags from previous champions, log on to stohd.com and click on the contest banner at the top of the page. Then fill out the entry form with the keyword cart. 20 winners will be selected, entered today at stohd.com. That pitch inside to Brandon Inge. So 1-0 now to Inge with Ordonez on first base with the leadoff walk. Kelly Shopik, a little chat with Anthony Reyes.
Well, you know, it's amazing because he came out in the first and he was boom, boom, real sharp. He went out into the second and then didn't really have good command. He walked the leadoff man in the third, but regained it quickly, got the double play, and then the strikeout. And this one here, he seems to be all over the place. That's going to scatter and get that bullpen up and throwing. Eric Wedge knows you can't fall behind much more.
Now 2-0 to Inge, who singled and scored his only time up back in the second inning when the Tigers put 4 on the board. They have that 4-1 lead now, and there's Jensen Lewis, I believe, getting
that's
baseball.
Jensen.
Yep. Curveball just missed there.
That's amazing. I mean, he was so sharp last inning.
So Anthony Reyes now about to throw his 65th pitch of the afternoon here in the fourth inning. With Ordonez on first and nobody out. 3-0 to Brandon Inge. It's ball 4.
Boy, oh boy, it looks like he lost it, man. Carl Willis has got to go talk to him.
Yeah, Kelly Shopik had to go back to the screen to get that one. So now the Tigers, runners at first and second. Nobody out, both on walks for Gerald Laird.
Well, you can take advantage of the new Spring Super Saver pricing. Get field box seats behind the dugout for as low as $25. Remaining Super Spring games include tomorrow through Wednesday with the White Sox in town, and then also Tampa Bay Rays coming in. That'll be May 25th through the 28th. Visit Indians.com/value pricing for more details.
Carl Willis out there talking to Anthony, trying to get some time for Jensen Lewis.
Yeah, he's trying to buy some time. That'll give me time to wish my partner, our cohort, Matt Underwood, his birthday is today.
Yeah, happy birthday,
on
Matt.
Mother's Day. He's down in Ashland spending it with his mom. So, Sophie, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day there as well. I hope he's out there cooking you a nice dinner today.
So now Gerald Laird, who walked and scored back in the second inning. Corner infielders in here. Nobody out, and Tigers at first and second.
It's almost like he would have had to take one there. He does not and helps him out.
Easy double play, 6-4-3. And Anthony Reyes with a big boost there is now 2 away, with Magglio Ordonez advancing to third, and that's exactly what you wanted. First pitch.
Well,
ball,
he walks
made.
the first 2 guys in the inning. And now as a hitter, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to make him get in the zone. And he swings at a pitcher's pitch to begin with. And they get the double play. Good. I mean, that's what Reyes needed. They turned their second double play.
Now Adam Everett, who hit a sacrifice fly his first time up, to get the Tigers' second run home. Adam Everett was off last night. 1 for 3 on Friday against Cliff Lee. Good block by Kelly Shopik there. There's Ordonez at third. And Everett lines that one to center, and Sizemore will have to play it in front of him. And another run scores for Detroit, a 2-out RBI single for Adam Everett, and it's 5-1 Tigers.
Everett now with 2 RBIs on the afternoon. Gives him 12, and that's a fastball up middle of the plate. You see, that's what surprised me about Laird getting after that first pitch. When to start this inning, Anthony threw 8 balls out of 9 pitches. But
they'll keep Everett close as Curtis Granderson steps in. 1 for 2 today with a single and a strikeout. So 2 outs again. Detroit up by 4. That pitch fouled. Anthony Reyes now with 70 pitches on the day, 42 for strikes, but trying to get out of this inning without any further damage. Runner going. Throw to second base, and he's out. Great throw by Kelly Shopik as he guns down Adam Everett. It's the final out of the 4th. Tigers get a run. Back out to a 4-run lead. 5-1. There's a proud mom Bringing her young one to the game. Tribe would like to get some runs for the moms and everybody else in attendance this afternoon. It's the bottom third of the Indian order here in the fourth. Francisco, Peralta, and Shopik. Francisco grounded out to the shortstop. Back in the second inning, his only time up. 2-0 now from Rick Porcello. I beg your pardon, 1-1 from Rick Porcello. Take a look at Francisco's numbers. Now 1-2. Good breaking ball just off the outside corner. It's a tough pitch to lay off at 1-2. Francisco. It's a shot to left field for a base hit. And the Indians have their leadoff hitter aboard here in the fourth inning. It's time now for the All Care Dental and Dentures Smiling Easy Cam.
Kiss. There
Plenty of moms, yeah, with the smiles today at the ballpark. Great family day. There's some flowers for the ladies. All Care Dental and Dentures. We make seeing the dentist easy. As Johnny Peralta takes a ball.
First time this afternoon that I take that back. That was a walk to Martinez last inning, where they had the leadoff man. First time they've gotten a base hit to start off an inning.
Now 1-1 to Peralta as he fouls that one off. Johnny singled his first time up back in the second inning. Broke his bat, but got it into right. As Eric Wedge said, wanted to give Johnny a couple of days off to kind of gather himself and refocus here. It's that one to right, but it'll go foul. Now 1-2 to Johnny Peralta.
That pitch he elevated. That was a pretty good pitch to hit right there. But you can see Johnny concentrating on staying on the ball and not pulling off and trying to go the other way.
Francisco has a decent lead at first. He's running. Pitch is low and no chance for Laird as Francisco. Good jump, and that ball in the dirt didn't give Gerald Laird a chance. And Ben Francisco gets the stolen base.
His sixth on the year. I mean, that was uncontested. He just took off. Boy, you talk about picking the right pitch. Watch this jump. Had a very nice jump, and the ball was in the dirt. No chance for Laird to throw him out, and Benny goes standing up. Took a quick peek in.
So now a runner on second with nobody out. The 2-2 to Peralta is outside, so the count full on Johnny Peralta. And Rick Porcello now at 77 pitches this afternoon. There's Kelly Shopik waiting on deck. And the payoff pitch on the outside corner called strike three. Well, a great pitch by Porcello there.
Well, gets his second strikeout of the afternoon, and let's see this full count. That ball coming back in. It's a pretty good pitch. It looks like it's right on the outside edge. So gets the first out here in the fourth.
So Kelly Shopik now with an opportunity with the runner on second base and one away. Kelly hitting .214 with runners in scoring position this year. Shopik singled his first time up. Watches that big curveball get in there for a strike. That slow curve, Rick, we talked about this earlier. That can be devastating when you got a nice fastball.
Well, and I like it. You know, you don't want to use it a whole lot. He's using it enough. Yeah, that takes him off. That's a separator. Back to back right there. Now, you know, you set it up. You're going through the lineup now for the second time. Shopik is the ninth hitter today, so you know there's nothing wrong with breaking that curveball out. Give him a little different look. As a starter, you've got to change the the looks through the lineup, especially when you go through 3 times.
So now 0-2 to Shopik. Swing and a miss.
Curveball, high fastball.
Porcello strikes out his second straight batter. Third strikeout of the day.
Well, every Wednesday home game will feature a local charity, and for every ticket sold, $1 is going to be donated to the charity. The Indians want to fill the house for Our Lady of the Wayside on Wednesday when the Tribe closes out the homestand against the Chicago White Sox. If you would like information on the charities and for every Wednesday, you can visit Indians.com/fillthehouse.
So Grady Sizemore now with 2 outs, and Francisco still at second base. He has the Tribe only RBI today. 23 on the season to lead the club, and he takes strike 1. Sizemore with a single and a ground out, 1 for 2 this afternoon. As Francisco leads away at second. And a check swing. You got a piece of that. So now 0-2. Grady Sizemore's Porcello works ahead. It was 1-2 on Peralta, 0-2 on Shopik, now 0-2 on Sizemore.
Yeah, you get that leadoff man aboard, and he buckled down in a hurry, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That one is high, 94 miles per hour. And that rising four-seamer. Sizemore swings and misses, and a good breaking ball from Rick Porcello, who strikes out the side. 4 Ks total for Porcello. Tigers with a 5-1 lead. You in part by Subway. Play hard, eat fresh. By AM/PM. Too much good stuff. And by Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. Today, just trying to get in Rick's circle.
That's hard to do, my
friend.
friend.
I know it is. I know it.
Tough to do.
Working hard. Top of the 5th inning, 5-1 Detroit. Curtis Granderson, who was at the plate when Adam Everett was caught stealing, back there again to lead off the 5th. So Anthony Reyes worked his way out of trouble. A last inning for the most part. Still surrendered that run, but could have been worse. 1-1 now to Curtis Granderson. Now 2-1 as Anthony Reyes today, Rick, just doesn't seem to have some of that sharpness that we saw earlier in the season.
Well, he's a control-type pitcher. He needs to be effective and move the ball around and change speeds. And, he's had spells where he just lost it. And he's walked back-to-back guys. He has 4 walks on the day. I mean, that's not Anthony Reyes. He can't afford to go out there and walk people.
Anderson hits that one high in the air on the infield. Peralta will make the catch, and there's one away. Here's today's Direct Energy bringing the gas sequence.
Well, you go back to the first inning starting this ball game. It's going to be Curtis Granderson starts him off with a nice fastball away. Missed inside. Challenged him with another fastball, puts him away with a change right there.
Direct Energy offering simple solutions for all your natural gas supply needs. It's Placido Polanco with a 1-0 count. So you get a look at Curtis Granderson heading back to his seat. Polanco 0 for 2 today with a couple of groundouts. That was a 2-0 count. Polanco still looking to extend this 8-game hitting streak. There's a good pitch by Anthony Reyes. There's a base hit for Polanco. So 9 straight games for Polanco with the base hit. The Tigers have a runner aboard with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And while we have a moment, let's send it back to our Ford update desk and check in with Dave Chudowski. Dave?
All right, Al, we're going to check in on the Rangers and the White Sox. Our old pal Bartolo Colon gives one up to Hank Blaylock in a big way. Blaylock's 8th of the year. Remember, the White Sox coming to town tomorrow. They're 14 and 15 right now. It's not like they're lighting up the world. Back to you.
Yeah, Dave, the White Sox tomorrow and Tuesday. Night games here, 7:05. Wednesday and afternoon affair, 12:05. As the Indians will wrap up the 6-game homestand against Chicago. All 6 games against American League Central Division opponents. And Clete Thomas with strike 1. So we'll miss Boogie. It's Bartolo Colon
That's
going
true.
today.
We'll get Gavin Floyd tomorrow against Carl Pavano. And I think they bumped Burley back to Wednesday to match up against Cliff Lee. And I think it's Clayton Richard against Sowers in the middle day matchup.
White Sox reshuffled their starting rotation. Well, how about Mark Burley?
He's off to a fabulous start.
5-0.
He pitched against Detroit last week. Had a perfect game going into the 7th inning.
Here are the pitching matchups.
There we go. Thank you, boys. You see, ask or talk about it, and there it is.
You're on top of it.
Go figure.
So Floyd against Pavano, then Richard and Sowers, and Mark Burley against Cliff Lee.
12:05 games, a WKYC Weather Day game as well.
That should be an outstanding pitching matchup.
Yes, it will be. It'll be a great game. Got a chance of being a 2-hour, 12-minute game like the last one. See if we can get Cliff any runs.
3-1 now to Clete Thomas. 1 out, Polanco on first base. Here in the 5th inning, and he's off and running. Clete Thomas fouls that pitch away. So Jim Leland starts the runner on a 3-1 count. Clete Thomas 0 for 1 today. He walked back in the 3rd inning. So, Rick, you start the runner at 3-1 with 1 down. You start him with the full count?
Absolutely. You got a 4-run lead. Middle part of the ball game, you stay aggressive. Keep sending them.
There he goes. Thomas hits that one to center. Sizemore coming on. He'll have to let it drop. Good deke, but it ran over the ball. Now Polanco thought about going to 3rd, but he'll stay at 2nd. And now the Tigers with 1st and 2nd. Looked like Grady Sizemore tried to deke Polanco a little bit as he jogged in, because Polanco was near 2nd base. Could have taken off for 3rd if he'd have known for sure that would have fallen in.
Well, a tough one to call because they know Grady. He dives for so many balls and can catch so many balls. That's why you start the runner. He just had to hesitate, thinking it was going to fall. And once it did, he's at second base.
So Polanco at second, Thomas at first. Back-to-back singles here for the Tigers. Hits 6 and 7 for Detroit here in the fifth. And Miguel Cabrera, the cleanup hitter, hits it right back to the mound. To second for one, on to first. Double play for the second time today. Miguel Cabrera gets the Tigers out of an inning with that DP. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Indians still down by 4. Indians half of the fifth inning, and happy Mother's Day from all of us at Sports Time Ohio. Special happy Mom's Day to my mom, Joanne, joining us for dinner later today.
Happy Mother's Day, Joanne.
It's Cabrera. Lifts that one to center. Granderson started back, but now comes in and will make the play. So one away here in the fifth inning. And a reminder, there's still time to vote in our Alltel text poll. Question today, who do you think has the best starting pitching in the American League Central? Well, if you go on this weekend, Detroit would win running away with it, but really some good starting rotations there. The Royals off to a great start. Indians, of course, have done well, too. Just need some support this weekend. Text your answer to 31962. We'll have the results for you coming up later in today's game. Now Victor Martinez, the batter, with one away and nobody on. Martinez 0 for 1 today with a walk. Takes a ball from Porcello. Struck out the side in the last inning.
Yeah, after giving up the leadoff single to Francisco, and Benny stole a base.
Martinez to center, right at Granderson, 2 down. Well, your kids can join Joshua Cribbs at Cleveland Browns Stadium to play football like the pros. The camp provides boys and girls ages 8 to 14 an affordable way to learn football tips. It's the Browns football camp. You'll also learn techniques and life skills from the Browns themselves, June 22nd through the 26th. Space is limited, so sign up today at clevelandbrowns.com. So 2 away now for Shin-Soo Choo. He was 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today, and he takes strike 1 from Rick Porcello. He was about to throw his 91st pitch. Choo swings and misses at that curveball again.
You know, it seems like this guy is either 0-2 or 2-0 on the hitter. There's, him no in between.
Yeah.
But he's been able to come back on the ones. I mean, he has walked a pair today. Has it been at, I'm not sure how many 3-0 counts. It's been at least 3.
1-2 now to Shin-Soo Choo, who had a couple of hits last night against the Tigers. That one outside.
Got to send along a happy birthday to Andy Hansen, who is working here out at Progressive Field in the suite. So, Andy, happy birthday to you.
Shin-Soo Choo able to lay off that pitch, so stays alive here. 2-2 with 2 away. Now 3-2.
That's
Shin-Soo
probably
Choo.
what he's talking to.
Yeah.
He's looking to
It
see
was
what is
2-2
the
on
count.
the scoreboard, and they just put up 3-2 late.
Never trust the scoreboard.
No,
Al.
you're right.
You used to work in it.
Well, Shin-Soo Choo is down on strikes either way, and the Indians out of the 5th. We go to the 6th. Drive down 5-1. On a windy but clear day in downtown Cleveland. Sailboat out on Lake Erie for Mother's Day. 5-1 Detroit as we go to the top half of the 6th inning with the new pitcher. Jensen Lewis has come on for the Tribe out of the bullpen to give it a go. And Anthony Reyes' afternoon is finished, going 5 innings, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits.
Well, and you know what saved him was the double play ball. He had 3 double plays that he was able to get turned, and all those double play balls Cabrera hit into 2 of them. They were the first pitch. And remember Gerald Laird, they walked the first 2 guys. So those 3 double play balls really helped him.
And Jensen Lewis will face Jeff Larish, Maglio Ordonez, and Brandon Inge as Lewis starts off Larish with the strike. Jensen Lewis has helped me co-host a couple of Indians on Deck shows here earlier this season. Said he wants to get into broadcasting, Rick.
Who's that?
Things are all said and done. Mr. Lewis there. Just got the pop-out. 1 away.
Doesn't everybody?
That's true.
Well, follow the Tribe on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009. This great new application features play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Indians.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase this app today.
Jensen Lewis now against Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez today is 1 for 1, reached base both times, a double and a walk, and he scored both times. Fouls that pitch away to even the count at 1.
A couple of more birthdays out there. Amanda Marie Butler of Warren turning 95. Happy birthday to you. Betsy Masterson of Rocky River, 82. Happy birthday, Betty.
A pitch, good one on the outside corner by Jensen Lewis. Maglio Ordonez in his career against Lewis 2 for 6. Now with a 1-2 count. That one outside. Count evens here in the top of the 6th inning. Detroit ahead 5-1. They put 4 on the board in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th inning against Anthony Reyes. Indians with a run in the 2nd inning. Off Rick Porcello. Ordonez drives that one to center. It's a single. And Ordonez aboard.
For the
one
third
away here.
time.
Yep.
Doubled and scored, walked and scored, and now he's singled.
Tonight on Sports Time Ohio, the legend of Cleveland TV and radio. Rick, you know who that is?
Who?
Bruce Drennan. All bets are off.
I didn't know that.
He's on from 7 until 9. You can email Bruce. You can call him. Then at 9 o'clock, it's the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon. He'll get you ready for golf season, as only Jimmy can. It all starts tonight at 7 on Sports Time Ohio.
That's right. I forgot he works on Sunday nights, doesn't he?
He does. Takes Friday off.
Right.
Works on Sunday.
Well, they're going to have something to talk about, at least Jimmy will tonight, for the Players' Championship down there in Florida.
Mm-hmm. So Brandon Inge now with a 1-1 count. He's reached both times up. Single and a walk. Swings and misses. Good. Change of pace there for Jensen Lewis. Now 1-2 to Brandon Inge. A pitch up high. Count even now to Brandon Inge at 2-2. Batting in the 7-hole once again. And Jim Leland's lineup. Hits that one to right. Shin-Soo Choo makes the catch. 2 away. That'll bring Gerald Laird to the plate. Tiger catcher today walked and scored back in the 2nd inning. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th. You look on there from our Panini's cam. Gerald Laird coming into today's game was batting just .034 over his last 9 games. Right now .221 overall. Takes a strike there. Well, last season, Rick, the last couple of months, Jensen Lewis was so effective as a closer, saving 13 in a row.
Well, he settled down the whole bullpen last year. If you recall, 13 for 13, and every time he came in, and everybody else, once that took effect, then the offense was better. They seemed to score a lot more runs, and they relaxed. And I mean, there were a lot of pieces out of place, but they ended up fitting into place because everybody was doing their job.
Jensen Lewis gets ahead of Gerald Laird now, 1-2.
Right now, it's just open. I mean, as I said, you've got 2 guys in place. It's Wood, it's Betancourt, and other than that, there's tryouts.
Now 2-2 to Gerald Laird.
You sort of pitch your way to the back end now.
Yep. Looping liner to center. Sizemore coming on. He made the catch. Grady Sizemore lays out to retire the Detroit Tigers here in the 6th inning as Gerald Laird robbed of a single. We now head to the bottom of the 6th inning as we watch Grady make the dive and the play. 5-1 Detroit. Bottom of the 6th here downtown on Mother's Day. Tribe and Tigers. There's another mom with her kids enjoying the game. Happy Mother's Day wishes all around. And the Indians trying to get some runs here and get back in this one against Detroit. New pitcher for the Tigers on the mound now. It's Zach Miner, who was in the starting rotation for a while, but now back to the bullpen.
Well, the last game he pitched was against the Indians. It was on that Saturday in Detroit last week. So it was a start. Ideally, Jim Leyland likes this guy coming out of the bullpen. You know, he's a ground ball pitcher, Zach Miner. He gives them something to come out there, but you got to have those starters you can plug into place. I mean, with the injuries that they had this year in the rotation, he had to step in and was valuable to them. You know, it's almost like you look at it, and Aaron Laffey, who started and was pitching very well. He started against Laffey on that Saturday ball game, and now Laffey's in the bullpen. So both those guys that started are now in the pens for their teams.
Mark DeRosa leads it off here in the 6th inning against Zach Miner. 1 for 6 in his career against him. Went 0 for 3 in a game last Saturday against Miner. 1-1 now to the Tribe third baseman. 0 for 2 today with the ground out and fly out.
You know, he didn't pitch actually as bad as the numbers may look. He had the bases loaded one time and a fly ball that would have been the third out of the inning that the outfielder fell down and never got back to it, you know, to put it away, and it kept the inning going. They ended up scoring 5 runs. Ryan Rayburn, who was out left, slipped.
Now 3-1 to Mark DeRosa as the Tribe trying to get the leadoff hitter on here in the 6th. DeRosa will be followed by DeLucci and Francisco. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 for the Tribe here. A 3-1 is hit to third. Inge makes the play, and there's one down. Time now for the Toyota recap, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Second inning, Tigers score 4. Here's 2 of them. RBI single with 2 outs. 2 home for Curtis Granderson. Indians got the run with Grady Sizemore single here with 2 outs. And then Detroit adds 1 more here. Another 2-out RBI single. It's timed by Adam Everett. It's where we stand. 5-1 Detroit. Right up the middle, David DeLucci, base hit. He broke the bat, but he'll trade that in for a single. So he jumps on the first pitch he sees from Zach Miner, so DeLucci aboard. And that'll be Ben Francisco to the plate here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Right back up the middle for Double D.
So DeLucci now on at first base with Francisco at the plate. Ben 1 for 2 today with a single. Also has a stolen base and looks at strike 1. Good breaking pitch from Zach Miner. He's on here in the 6th inning after Rick Porcello went 5 for the Tigers. Surrendered 5 hits and 1 run. A little inside there.
You know, that's not a bad way to ease into your 20-year-old or into the rotation. They can afford to do that and get into the bullpen now and try and get 4 innings of work because of the way the starters pitched the first 2 games of the series.
That one grounded foul. That last hit for David DeLucci snapped an 0 for 16 skid. So good to see maybe DeLucci getting single there and perhaps getting going. Now 1-2. Ben Francisco with 1 away here in the 6th inning, and the Tribe down by 4. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch by Zach Miner, and Ben Francisco out on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Miner. And Mother's Day here today at the ballpark. Let's hear about Josh Barfield's mom from Josh.
I mean, my mom was the one who was there for me, you know, taking me to the games, you know, coaching me, playing catch with me. My dad was always gone during the season, so, you know, I always said she's the reason I'm playing baseball more so than my dad.
Josh Barfield. Of course, Jesse Barfield is
Dad taught him the skills, but Mom was there to take him to all the events because Dad was off playing. Totally understandable. I think you could ask all the moms or all the players that, and their moms were a very, very big part of their lives.
So here's Johnny Peralta, 1 for 2 today. Scored the Tribe's only run back in the second inning. Sends that one into short right field. Polanco can't make the play. DeLucci taps second. He's on his way to third. Now the Tribe has runners at the corners with 2 away here in the 6th inning. Second hit of the day for Johnny Peralta.
Well, for Johnny, his second base hit today. Looked like it cost him another bat, but just over the glove of the outstretched Placido Polanco. DeLucci goes to third. He read it off the bat that it was going to fall. So they have runners at the corners now with 2 outs.
So now Kelly Shopping, 1 for 2 today. The single back in the second inning, struck out in the 4th against Rick Porcello. And he swings at the first pitch and lines it out to Brandon Inge. Well, Kelly Shopping hit it hard, but third baseman Brandon Inge comes up with it. We're through 6 on Mother's Day at Progressive Field. Mary Niederhauser, 100 years old, a Tribe fan who first saw her Cleveland Indians game back at League Park. She's been a fan ever since. She's on hand here today, so happy Mother's Day, Mary, and a longtime Indians fan. Hoping the Tribe can get some runs today.
What do you mean, Al? They got their one.
That's true.
But they're going to need a lot more if they're going to win this ball game. Down 5-1 here.
We go to the top of the 7th inning. And it's Adam Everett. It'll be hitters 9, 1, and 2 as Granderson and Polanco will follow him to the plate. Jensen Lewis working in his second inning of relief as Adam Everett fouls that first pitch away for strike 1. Just a little bit high there. Adam Everett with a sacrifice fly back in the second inning. And he got a single and was caught stealing in the 4th. And takes strike 2. Jensen Lewis came on in the 6th inning. Faced 4 batters, giving up a single to Ordonez. But got out of the inning without any further damage. 2-2 now to Adam Everett. Fouls that one off. Well, Jensen's taking care of the right-handers this season. They're batting just .219 against him coming into today, while lefties have hit .440 against him. 2-2 now on Adam Everett, the Tigers shortstop today. That pitch just inside to run the count full. Tigers with 5 runs on 8 hits. They've left 3 on base. The Indians with 1 run on 7 hits. And Rick, they've left 8. As Everett pops that one up. Right side of the infield. Martinez shading his eyes and making the catch. 1 down.
Well, have you planned your company picnic yet? The Indians offer a one-of-a-kind venue out here at Progressive Field. You can choose from a variety of affordable food and beverage options. Call 216-420-HITS for full information.
Great way to enjoy a ball game out there. Group. There's a look.
The party deck, not quite summertime yet, where you can go out there in short sleeves and shorts and just relax. That's coming.
Curtis Granderson now with a 2-0 count. The Tigers' leadoff hitter today after hitting in the 5-hole yesterday. It's 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a single, in which he knocked 2 home back in the 2nd inning, then popped out in the 5th. The shortstop. 1 out, nobody on. And that one gets the upper portion of the strike zone for Lewis. 2-1 to Curtis Granderson. And Granderson hits that one high to right field. Chu drawing a beat on it with the glasses down, and 2 are away. You can now buy authentic Sports Time Ohio merchandise at stostuff.com. We've got 3 items there for you. An STO cap and an All Bets Are Off t-shirt are both priced at $16.99. And an All Bets Are Off talking bottle opener that has Bruce Drennan saying, "I love you, Cleveland," for $10.99. Check it out now at stostuff.com. That's, of course, the same bottle opener that Bruce uses on his show. When you're a first-time caller and he plays that into his microphone, sometimes gets the whole phrase in. Sometimes you just hear, "Aight," and that's all you hear. 1-0 now to Placido Polanco with 2 outs and nobody on. Polanco extended his hitting streak to 9 games back in the 5th inning with a single. He grounded out his other 2 times. Now 3-0 on Polanco. Right down the middle with the 3-0 fastball. 3-1 now. Polanco grounds that one to short. Peralta takes care of Polanco. 3 up, 3 down for Detroit here in the 7th inning. It's stretch time at the ballpark. of the seventh inning here at Progressive Field, and catch the game and enjoy pizza, wings, or a famous Panini's overstuffed sandwich on their beautiful patios as you view this shot from our Panini cam. Panini's, the best food and outdoor dining in town. Visit paninisgrill.com for more information, a menu there. And Panini's always a great time to hang out, catch the ball game. And happy Mother's Day, and all of you tuning in, to all the moms out there. And Bobby C. is the new Tigers pitcher, who has 8 holds for Detroit this year. That's second in the league to Jose Arredondo for the Angels, who has great stuff out there on the West Coast. But Bobby C. has been very good this year, Rick, and especially against left-handers who are only batting 188 against.
That's his job. You come out as a left-hander, your job is to get left-handed hitters out. And he's going to face Sizemore, and then he'll have the switch hitters. But the run that he gave up, the Indians got him last week. That was his first run given up this year.
Last time he was in the ball game was last Sunday against the Tribe at Comerica Park. So Bobby C. to work the seventh inning. Zach Miner goes 1 inning of scoreless relief for the Tigers. So Sizemore, Cabrera, and Martinez, 1, 2, and 3 in the Tribe batting order here in the seventh inning. So now Sizemore to the plate, 1 for 3 today. It's the Indians' only RBI, showed bunt against C. Rick, when you come up against a tough left-handed pitcher like C, bunting's an option to get on.
Well, the way Grady's been struggling, it certainly is. He's not a bad bunter. We've seen him do it before. I mean, you're down 4 runs. You need base runners. Yeah, I mean, any way to get on base. That's what you have to do. And especially a lefty against a lefty, bunting gives you that option.
Sizemore swinging away. It's that one to left, and it will go foul. Unable to get over there to make the catch was Cleet Thomas, who gave it a chance. Tonight's scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. So now 1-1 to Grady Sizemore. Bobby C. with now over 200 appearances at the major league level. He had 60 appearances for Detroit last year. Career numbers, Sizemore against C as it's a cue shot foul. Indians trying to get something going here in the seventh inning. Down 5-1 to Detroit. Trying to avoid the sweep to the Tigers. White Sox in town tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tomorrow and Tuesday are night games at 7:05. Wednesday at 12:05. And Sizemore got a little piece of that. Stay alive. And again on Wednesday, great pitching matchup as you see Brandon Lyon getting loose here in the Detroit bullpen. Coming over in the offseason as a free agent from the Diamondbacks. On Wednesday, Cliff Lee against Mark Burley. A couple of lefties that are really throwing the ball well right now. Sizemore swings and misses as Bobby C. gets him on strikes. So the first out of the seventh recorded as Drupal Cabrera coming up next. 7 strikeouts on the day now for Tigers pitching.
Let's finish out our birthday wishes. Laura Fritz of Valeria turning 30 today. Happy birthday, Laura. Sandy Williams of Bexley, Ohio, and Jim Sparks of Butler, Ohio. Happy birthday to you both.
So now Cabrera, who's singled, grounded out, and flown out to center field. No bad right-handed against Bobby C. In his career against him, it's 1 for 5. Now a 2-0 pitch will be coming from Bobby C. Rick, we talked about switch hitters a little bit the other night, how they tend to be better from the left side of the plate, but the good job Cabrera and Martinez are doing from the right side this season.
They've been solid on both sides of the plate. And that really, it takes a lot of hard work to maintain your swings from both sides. More so the side you're not hitting from a lot. And the Indians got off to a very good start against left-handed starters this year. You know, they were very good. They were 4-1 when the season started. They are now 4-2 facing a left-hander. They should be 5 and actually a minimum 5-1. They could possibly be 6-0, to tell you the truth. But these guys have swung the bat very well from the right side.
Now Cabrera with the 2-2 count. Here in the 7th inning, 1 out, nobody on. As the Tribe trails by 4. Bobby C. working to his second batter today. Cabrera fouls that one off.
You see, he turned around and asked the umpire, Feldon Galbraith, if that ball was up. And it doesn't matter what side of the plate that you're facing Cabrera. That's where teams try to get him out above the belt with high fastballs from both the left hand and the right-handed side of the plate.
That one outside, so Cabrera has worked the count full as he looks for a way aboard here in the 7th inning with the Tribe down by 4. Asdrubal Cabrera starting at second base today for the Indians after playing shortstop on Friday and Saturday night. That high pitch is sent in the air. Ordonez will give it a look, but he won't have a play as it goes out of play and goes off the visiting dugout and bounces into the stands for a souvenir. Off a couple of hands, finally. Corral. And that young man has himself a souvenir. You look at the fans sometime, and it's funny to see their reaction. Everyone that had a chance at it, it's like, man, I could have had that.
Well, yeah, you almost wait till you pick it up. The ones that scare me are the line drives that are going into the stands, and the people think they're going to catch it. Then the next thing they do, they duck. And then whoever's behind them pays the price.
Cabrera with the drive to left center. That one caught by Clete Thomas, who ran it down. So 2 away. Pretty good ride given to it by Asdrubal Cabrera. And now 2 outs for Victor Martinez. Nobody on here in the 7th inning. Martinez will swing around and bat from the right side of the plate for the first time today, as Cabrera just did. Martinez 0 for 2 with the walk. Batting .379 this season. In his last 18 games, he's hitting .406. He's hitting 17 out of 18 now. Strike 1 from Bobby C. Victor Martinez 2 for 6 against him with a double in his career. Looks at a ball there. Now the 1-1 from the Tiger lefty, Bobby C. Swing and a miss. Pretty good fastball there, 91 miles per hour. Now, Rick, Bobby C., of course, he's a left-handed specialist, but he does a nice job against righties this year as well. They're only batting about 200 against him.
Well, when a lefty can get both righties and the left-handers out, it certainly pays dividends. A lot of times you'll see some left-handers, they won't be late in the game, where they're better on righties than lefties. But look at that. He gets another punch out.
2 strikeouts in the inning for Bobby C. as the Tribe goes 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 8th. Cleveland down by 4.
Cleveland Indians.
To the 8th inning as we get a look at some boaters taking advantage of the sunshiny day on Lake Erie on Mother's Day. Clear skies, and boy, look at that young one. What a cutie with Mom.
Well, she looks nice and warm.
Yes, indeed. And a new pitcher for the Tribe, left-hander Tony Sipp.
It's been 5 days since Tony has pitched.
And he gave up his first runs his last time out against Toronto.
Yeah, that was the first time that he went back-to-back in a long time. I mean, since he had the surgery. Came back out, but they needed him in that situation. He hung on breaking ball. And it went a long way.
Good pitch there. Tony Sipp takes on Clete Thomas here to lead off the 8th inning. It's 1 for 2. A single and a walk. Cut down on a double play his last time up back in the 5th inning. Good pitch there from Tony Sipp. And Rick, Tony's a great story. I saw him pitch in Lake County in 2005, and you could see then with the stuff that he had stuff that would translate to the majors. His problem has been health. Last couple of years, he's missed most of those seasons, but he got it together here at the end of last year, and now this season in spring training pitched well in Columbus the first couple of weeks, and here he is and doing well at the major league level.
Well, he spent a lot of time rehabbing after the Tommy John surgery, so he paid his dues, man. He had to stay down there in Winter Haven for a year until they broke camp. He was out in Arizona, and you know, it's nice to see guys that work hard to come back from surgeries get an opportunity.
That went into the camera bay as Mark DeRosa gave a look. Count will stay 2-2 on
that ball.
Clete
Almost
Thomas.
hit Johnny in the back of the head down there in the camera bay. Should have got him.
Well, he's stoic down there. He's not making a move. He's keeping his shot. He's a pro. 2-2 now to Clete Thomas against Tony Sipp. That one fouled off again. Let's watch Johnny Scurra. There he is on the left side of the
Look at Johnny.
screen.
He's got it. Heads up, heads up. He went for it and then hit like a baby. You got to be kidding me, Johnny. You got to make that play. I mean, seriously.
I think he said he doesn't have a batting helmet on, so he didn't want a chance.
With that head, he doesn't need one.
Once again, it'll be a 2-2 pitch to Clete Thomas, a leadoff hitter here in the 8th inning for the Tigers. And he hits that one high in the air, and this one will stay fair. Cabrera records the out, one away. And Tony Sipp with his tribute to Mother's Day.
Having someone that's driven by following you, you know, it kind of drives you a little bit. So I mean, it's kind of my thing to my mom. Like, it may not seem like it meant a whole lot, but it did. Just her being there.
Tony Sipp, one of the nicer guys that you'll meet in the game of baseball. Just a great kid. One of those guys that appreciates where he's at after what he's come through.
Good for him, you know, and hopefully he's going to pitch well and stick around here for the rest of the year, and they can end up getting Rafael Perez back here, and that'll give Eric another left-hander where you'll have two coming out of the bullpen where we haven't had that in such a long time.
And jumps ahead of Miguel Cabrera here. Now 0-2. Cabrera 0 for 3 on the day. He's grounded into double plays twice, struck out the other time. That pitch inside for 1-2. Tony Sipp has done very well against right-handers this year. They're hitting just 125 against him coming in. That pitch grounded foul. So 1-2 the count on Miguel Cabrera here in the 8th inning. Tribe trailing the Tigers 5-1 as Tony Sipp working in his first inning of relief. For Jensen Lewis went 2 scoreless. A pitch low. Rick, we've seen two lefties now. Bobby C. in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now Tony Sipp in the top, which are considered those specialists. But again, Tony Sipp, 1 for 8 against the righties. Bobby C.'s done good against righties. Left-handed pitchers like this, what's their key to being able to get right-handed hitters out? That one's fouled back. Out of play.
A lot of left-handers when you can pitch the right-handers inside. I don't know if it's a cutter or that slider down and in, whatever you may have, but you're going to have to use both sides of the plate. And I don't think a lot of right-handers, and people talk about it, they think left-handed, right-handed matchups. If left-handers can pitch righties inside, they like the ball going away from them, and they'll have success. Not all right-handers hit left-handed pitching well.
Right. Cabrera just got a piece of that. And speaking of inside pitches, Rick.
Well, this is what let's see. Take a look at it. It's a fastball. It's going in there. It ties him up a little bit. Unable to get those hands extended. They're making him work hard to dig it out. You get him looking in there, then you drop that little breaking ball, and it's beautiful. He tied him up the last 2 pitches, so now consciously he's got to be thinking, well, I'm not going to let him back in there again.
Again, the 2-2. Again, a foul ball.
This is normally one of the big guys that he can hurt you with the long ball, but he can also hit for average.
Right.
I mean, so he makes adjustments in his swing as the at-bat goes on. You cannot continually stay and pound this guy to try and get him out one way. You have to change throughout the course of the game because he makes adjustments to the pitchers.
Now the 10th pitch to Cabrera of this at-bat. There will be an 11th. Nice little battle here between these two. Tony Sipp, Miguel Cabrera. That went outside. So now the count runs full. The payoff pitch. And it's up high. So Miguel Cabrera works a 12-pitch walk, and Tony Sipp not happy with his location on that one. And let's go back to our STO studios now for a Ford Sports Update. Dave Chudowski will let us know what's going on with the Mariners and Twins. Hey, Dave, is it Mauer or Morneau again?
Well, you said it. Morneau and Mauer both involved. Just not a home run. Surprise, surprise. It's Morneau with a double to deep right center. Mauer scores. Morneau is caught there at second, but I don't think they care. 1-zip Twins right now in the 4th. Back to you.
All right, Dave. So Mauer and Morneau added again, and now the Twins have Mauer back. Boy, they're going to be dangerous.
Well, you hear that combination an awful lot throughout we have this weekend, and you'll hear it the rest of the year if they stay healthy. 2 quality bats in the middle part of your lineup, 3 and 4, and produce a lot of runs.
For both those guys, as a pitch gets away there from Shopik, and Cabrera will trot down to second base. Both those guys, Mauer and Morneau, going into every season. You hit it, Rick. If they can stay healthy, they're both MVP candidates.
Well, Morneau has won an MVP before, and he's right up there in the balloting every year because he's their most important run producer. He hits behind Mauer. He hits the home runs, drives in the runs, and hits for average, but not like Joe Mauer. Mauer hits for average. He doesn't drive the ball. I don't know. Pick your poison.
Yeah. How about neither one?
Well, you can maybe
I wouldn't want to face either of them.
Morneau, you can pitch to and get him out, but he can do more damage because he can hit the ball out of the ballpark more so than Mauer.
It's a good comparison.
But Mauer just base hit you to death and double you.
Yep. So now 2-0 to Jeff Larish with Cabrera on second, and there's ball 3. Jeff Larish today with a home run back in the 2nd inning to get the Tigers on the board. He struck out in the 3rd, popped out in the 6th. And now 3-0 against Tony Sipp. There's a strike. So Cabrera at second with the wild pitch. 3-1 to Jeff Larish. 1 away here in the 8th. And low and inside. So Jeff Larish draws the second straight walk issued by Tony Sipp. And now the Tigers have runners at first and second with one away here in the 8th inning. And Maglio Ordonez, whom the Tribe hasn't gotten out yet today. He doubled in the second and scored, walked in the 4th and scored, and singled back in the 6th. He's coming to the plate as we take a look at Matt Hergis getting loose in the Indians bullpen.
Well, the Indians can ill afford to allow anything else on that board. They're down 4 already with only 6 outs to go. And Tony Sipp has sort of hurt himself in the inning walking the 2 guys. I mean, Cabrera had a good at bat. Would you say 12-pitch at bat? What that one was, and he earned that walk. But you don't walk the left-hander Larish. And now you've got a tough one to get with Ordonez and Inge, a couple of veterans.
Yeah, 4 righties in a row now due up for the Tigers. And Ordonez, Inge, Laird, and Everett. As the Seagulls make an appearance here at Progressive Field. One and 0 now to Maglio Ordonez. As the season average up to 243 now. Those 2 hits today. There's a strike on the outside corner for Sipp with a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. There's the Detroit runners. Larish on first, Cabrera on second. And pitch low, so 2-1 now to Maglio Ordonez. Tiger right fielder today.
You know, it's amazing when a guy, who's led the league in hitting before, he gets a couple of knocks. He's been on base a few times. How much more confidence he looks at the plate as the game goes on. And now he's got a situation here where it's a free shot. 3-1, runners in scoring position.
And he hits a grounder to short. Tough hop, but Peralta,
yes,
nice play and turns the double play.
They got it. 4th double play.
So the Indians out of trouble in the 8th, but still down by 4. So we head to the bottom of the 8th at the ballpark. Trying to get the Indians going here to see if they can come up with 4 in the 8th. Josh Anderson has entered the game for Maglio Ordonez. He goes to left. That'll push Clete Thomas over to right. Josh Anderson will bat in the 6th hole in Jim Leland's lineup. For the Indians here in the bottom of the 8th, Shin-Soo Choo, Mark DeRosa, and David DeLucci in Bobby C's second inning of relief. Worked a 3 up, 3 down, 7th with 2 strikeouts. Shin-Soo Choo today has walked and struck out twice. And Choo hits that one to deep right center. Granderson going back. It is caught by Curtis Granderson as he hits into the wall. What a catch by Curtis Granderson. We saw a dandy on Friday and another nice one here today.
He's putting a clinic on, man. He put his head down and caught up to this ball. It had just enough hang time, and he makes the catch right before running into the chain link fence out there in front of their bullpen. Another fine, look at him, running catch on the dead run. And you know what he does? He waits to the last minute before he puts that glove out there so it doesn't slow him down at all. And I mean a fine running catch. He has made 2 beauties in this series. One a game saver. That one's just ho-hum, I guess, because it's a 5-1 game, but it's a great catch.
Yeah, ho-hum for Curtis Granderson is indeed as Shin-Soo Choo robbed of what would have been an extra base hit. And now Mark DeRosa at the plate, and he'll look at a pitch for a strike on the outside corner. And Rick, when you're not hitting the ball very well this weekend like the Tribe is, even the balls you do hit hard, and that was a well-hit ball by Shin-Soo Choo, that's run down.
Well, it's frustrating is what it becomes. I mean, you look out there and you can't believe it. I mean, the catch he made on Friday night, the Indians win 2-1 if he doesn't catch that ball. Game over, and it could change the whole complexion of the series. It doesn't, and now he runs down another one just to show, hey, I can keep it in the ballpark. I'm going to get it. You put it out of the ballpark, I might get it.
Well, one of the best compliments you can give to an athlete is a game changer, and Curtis Granderson has been that this weekend. As Mark DeRosa swings and misses, and he's down on 3 straight pitches. Bobby C. picks up his 3rd strikeout, and there's 2 away here in the 8th inning. Let's check in with our Alltel text poll results. The best starting pitching in the American League Central, the Royals, with Zach Greinke and Gil Mesh, Kyle Davies, Brian Bannister. Indians 2nd, then the Tigers. Thanks for voting. We'll have another poll for you tomorrow when the Tribe takes on the White Sox at 7:05. So 9 strikeouts now for Tiger pitching today. 3 of those belong to Bobby C. And we have a pinch hitter as Ryan Garco will bat for David DeLucci here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And Jim Leyland will head to the mound and make a pitching change as Bobby C. did the job here today. He retired all 5 batters he faced, 3 of them on strikeouts. New pitcher coming in for the Tigers. We'll be back to tell you about him right after this. You're watching Indians baseball on Sports Time Ohio. For the Tigers is right-hander Brandon Lyon. As he comes in for the first time since taking on the Minnesota Twins on Monday night. Saw action there. Brandon Lyon coming over in the offseason from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Signed as a free agent in January. He had 26 saves for the Diamondbacks. You know, they figured they weren't going to keep him. You know, he was ninth among NL relievers with just 2.5 walks per 9 innings over a 3-year span. But you look at him this year in his 12 innings, he's already walked 7 guys.
Strike one to Ryan Garco, pinch hitting for David DeLucci here in the 8th inning. And Garco hits that one straight up on the infield. Polanco calling and making the catch. Indians retired in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Tribe down by 4. Mother's Day. The moms are out today to see Martinez and Sizemore here in the 9th inning. We'll also get a look at a new Tribe pitcher. Matt Hergis will make his 2nd appearance this season for the Indians. His numbers there in the first start. Matt Hergis, 39 years old, pitched for the Colorado Rockies last year. And he'll face 7, 8, and 9 in the Tiger lineup. Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and then Adam Everett, 3 right-handers. Ball 1 to Brandon Inge. Inge 1 for 2 today with a walk. Scored the Tigers' 2nd run back in the 2nd inning. It's that one to right. Chu going over, and it will make it to the stands, and foul ball out of play for strike 1. That fan happy as a souvenir. Last year, Matt Hergis was 3-4 with a 5.04 earned run average and 58 appearances with Colorado. Began this year at AAA Columbus, was 1-2 with a 5.40 ERA and 4 saves when he stepped in the closer's role in 11 appearances. Recalled by the Tribe on May 6th. 2-1 now to Brandon Inge. Has the batting average now at .283. 8 homers, 20 runs batted in for Inge. Hits that one again to right. Twisting foul. Chu will give chase. And that again just makes it into the stands. So now 2-2 to Brandon Inge. Matt Hergis, the 4th Tribe pitcher today, following Reyes, Lewis, and Sipp to the hill. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Matt Hergis. And the 4th strikeout of the day for Tribe pitching. It's time now to take a look at today's Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. That belongs to Rick Porcello, who in combination with Justin Verlander and Edwin Jackson, Tiger starters this weekend, Rick, really shut the Indians down.
Well, for the third day in a row, it's been a Tiger starting pitcher for the performance of the game. 21 innings, 1 earned run, and 23 punch-outs.
So the Tiger pitching staff really did a whale of a job here this weekend against the Tribe. So that pitch to Gerald Laird now is inside. Laird walked and scored in the second inning. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the fourth, and then lined out to Grady Sizemore, made a diving catch on him back in the sixth inning. The runs today have been scored off the starters. 4 runs for the Tigers in the second, 1 in the fourth off Anthony Reyes. Tribe's lone run came in the second inning on an RBI single by Grady Sizemore off Tiger starter Rick Porcello. Since then, both starters went 5 innings. The bullpens have taken over in the sixth, and nobody scored. That pitch down the right field line, foul by a couple of feet. 1-2 now to Gerald Laird, the catcher today for the Tigers. First time Gerald Laird has ever faced Matt Hergis. Now the 1-2. Curveball is sent down the right field line again, just foul. As Gerald Laird tried to go the other way. Matt Hergis, one of those veterans, Rick, 39 years old, that he's seen a lot of baseball in his time, and can also provide some insight to some of the Indians' young bullpen arms.
Well, there's a lot of guys now. Well, pitching, I think, is watered down compared to what it used to be. And, you can hang on a little bit. You can throw strikes and come out of the bullpen.
And Hergis, boy, just struck out Gerald Laird, so he's come in and struck out 2 in a row. Don't forget to join us for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show immediately following this one as we take a look at a nice pitch by Hergis here. Bottom just drops out of it.
Like a splitter right there.
Yep. Fifth strikeout for Tribe pitching today, and now Adam Everett with 2 down and nobody on here in the top of the ninth. 5-1 Detroit. One strike now to Adam Everett, and Matt Hergis has come out of the bullpen and thrown strikes. Everett today with a sac fly, a single, and a pop-out. That pitch paints the outside corner. 0-2 now to shortstop Adam Everett. Batting .270 now on the season. Now Hergis to try and strike out the side. Fouled away. Count remains 0-2. Well, Tigers shortstops now. This is the 30th game of the season. Adam Everett and Ramon Santiago have combined to hit .265. 6 doubles, a couple of home runs, and now 24 RBIs. Pitch just fell a little bit low. And Hergis wearing that pink ring around his neck for breast cancer awareness today on Mother's Day. The 1-2. It's grounded foul.
Boy, this has really been a quiet weekend inside Progressive Field. I mean, the fans have really not had a whole lot to cheer for all weekend. The shutout on Friday night, shutout last night. And they've got one on the board today. I've heard more noise out of the Seagulls today.
And they've arrived Sunday afternoon. Pitch inside, 2-2 now to Matt Hergis. Well, on Friday night, Rick, if you're a baseball purist, you had to enjoy that game from a pitching duel perspective.
Game. Yes, it was. It was a terrific game.
To lose
without
it the way
a doubt,
the
that's the best game I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was.
Two guys matched up twice within a week, and both low-scoring games.
Fly ball there to left, near the line, and it will drop fair. Everett on his way to second, and he's in with a double. So a well-placed ball by Adam Everett. He has his second hit of the day. The Tigers now with the runner in scoring position here in the ninth inning on Everett's fifth double of the season.
This ball looked like it was like in slow motion. I mean, he went up out of the strike zone to get it. And, I mean, that's hard to keep fair. If that ball stays fair, it'll go as a double. That's his second hit today. He's 2 for 3 with a couple RBIs. He has 7 this year against the Indians already.
So 2 away now with the runner in scoring position for Curtis Granderson. Aaron Laffey has gotten up throwing in the Tribe bullpen. Fernando Rodney is getting loose for the Tigers. And Curtis Granderson at the plate. Good pitch from Hergis there. Strike one to Curtis Granderson, who struck out his first time up back in the first inning. Got a 2-run RBI single in the second, popped out in the fifth inning, and flew out in the seventh. Now the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missed on the outside. 1-1 to Curtis Granderson. His first love in sports was basketball. But the opportunity for him was in baseball. He took it and has taken full advantage. Tigers up by 4 here in the ninth inning. Looking ahead, it'll be Francisco Peralta and Shopik for the Tribe, the bottom third of the order. Curtis Granderson saying if he can add another run to the Tigers' 4-run lead. Fouls that one off. 2-2 now to Granderson. There's Everett on second. The 2-2. Granderson checks. Did he go? The appeal, not in time.
Well, Kelly Shopik tried to get a call going his way, but he wasn't going to fool Brian O'Nora. He started to walk to the dugout. Watch Shopik here trying to get a call. He didn't go. Now watch. Yes, he did. Here we go. I'm going to the dugout. Didn't work.
I've seen a lot of catchers. Pretty much every one of them tries that walk. That, yeah, of course that's a third strike. Just put the right arm up.
There's nothing wrong with that. See if you can get it. It saves one pitch, but he's going to get out of it anyway.
High pop for Granderson, left side of the infield. It'll be Peralta. Tigers retired in the ninth. They get a double, but no damage. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Tribe down by 4. Down by 4 to Detroit, and we'll see the 5th Tiger pitcher of the day. It's closer Fernando Rodney, once again for the 2nd straight night, Rick, in a non-save situation.
Well, that's what they did. They got 5 from their starter, Rick Porcello. They've gone with Minor, Bobby C., Brandon Lyon, and now Fernando Rodney. He's given up 11 hits in his 11 innings, 9 punch-outs. He had a couple base runners yesterday in a non-save situation, but coming back on to get some work, he's going to face Francisco, Peralta, Shopik, the scheduled hitters. And Detroit going for the sweep. They're 3 outs away. The Indians need base runners, and they are down 4.
Francisco today is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base back in the 4th inning. He's only faced Fernando Rodney 1 time in his career. So he's 0 for 1. Francisco needs to find a way on so the Indians can get some base runners here in the 9th, down by 4. Fernando Rodney currently 6th in the American League with 6 saves. He's 6 for 6 this year with save opportunities. He saved 9 in a row going back to last year, but we said this is a non-save opportunity with the 4-run lead, and that pitch up and in. 96 miles per hour to Ben Francisco. Francisco trying to get something started for the Tribe here in the 9th. And you'll see a strike from Fernando Rodney. The count even at 1. Tiger pitching this weekend has allowed just 1 run. Came today back in the 2nd inning. Other than that, it's been zeros for the pitching staff as Francisco had a defensive swing there. 1-2 to Ben Francisco. Ben stays alive. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Tigers. Indians with 1 run, 7 hits, no errors. Tigers have left 5 on base. The Indians have left 8.
Well, all of the 7 Indians hits have been singles. But boy, you just never know. Get the base runners on. Give them a finish. They haven't done much, but
Francisco pops that one back to the booth, 2 down from us. Make it in there or not?
No, it hit the railing and kicked back.
All right. Well, the count remains 1-2 on Ben Francisco as he tries to stay alive here against Fernando Rodney. Francisco reaches out and grounds that one to short. Everett takes care of Francisco for the first out of the 9th. And today we have seen perfect baseball defensively from both teams. Not an error on either side for the Tigers or the Indians. The one on Friday night, a little bit questionable for that run.
Well, yeah, but you know it was a tough call. I mean, it went as a base hit, and it, you know, either way, believe me, it was not an easy play.
It's been pitching and defense this week.
Yes, it has. It certainly has.
Now Johnny Peralta, who's 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles, broke his bat both times and takes strike 1 from Fernando Rodney, who he's 0 for 12 against in his career. Johnny disagrees with the call and chats about it with Fielding Colbreth. One out, nobody on here in the 9th. Tribe needs 4. Peralta's down 0-2. And he hits that one to center. Base hit for Johnny Peralta. He gets his 3rd hit of the day, And he breaks an 0 for 12 streak career-wise against Fernando Rodney. So the Tribe with a base runner here in the 9th. And Johnny Peralta drove that one to center pretty well.
Johnny gets his 3rd hit of the afternoon. Fastball that Rodney left middle of the plate and upstairs.
So the Indians with a base runner here in the 9th for Kelly Shopik, who singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and lined out to Brandon Inge back in the 6th inning. Shopik hits that one back to the mound. Rodney will take the easy out at first. And there are 2 away as Peralta advances to 2nd. So 2 away here in the 9th as we go back to the top of the order, and Grady Sizemore. It's 1 for 4 today with an RBI. Tomorrow night, the Indians and the White Sox at 7:05 as Chicago comes to town for a 3-game series. Night games on Monday and Tuesday, a 12:05 start on Wednesday. Matt will be back with you with Rick for the call. Go back to the studio for Indians on Deck. Stay tuned after this one for our Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. As Grady Sizemore looks at ball 1 from Fernando Rodney. And there are the details above our score bug there. Tomorrow night's game. Sizemore 0 for 6 in his career against Fernando Rodney. Looks at a strike. Now the Indians do have 8 hits today, but just 1 run. Tigers with 9 hits, they've gotten 5. Sizemore swing and a miss on that 98-mile-per-hour fastball from Fernando Rodney. So the Indians down to their last strike. Rodney taking a little bit of time getting the pitch. Grady Sizemore steps out. Johnny Peralta on second base. 2 away here in the 9th, but the Tribe needs 4. The 1-2 to Sizemore. Inside to run the count to 2-2. As Drupal Cabrera waiting on deck. He'd be next. Should Grady Sizemore keep this one going here today? Crowd comes to life a little bit. Wants Grady to give him something to cheer about here. The 2-2 pitch in the 9th. 3-2. Once again, the Progressive Field fans trying to encourage Sizemore to keep this game going here. Payoff pitch to Sizemore. Low and away, they'll check. Did not go. So Sizemore trots down to first base as he works the walk against Fernando Rodney. That'll put Indians at first and second. And bring us Drupal Cabrera to the plate, who's 1 for 4 today with a single back in the first inning. Grounded out to second in the 2nd. Flew out to center in the 5th. Flew out to left in the 7th. Fernando Rodney is throwing only 16 pitches here in the 9th. So runners at first and second, 2 away in the 9th. Tribe down by 4. Peralta's at second. Sizemore's at first. They both will have big leads. They won't be held here. Tigers just concentrating on the batter. And that pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Fly ball to left center. Granderson going back. It's going to be over his head into the gap. One run will score. Sizemore will be held at third. It's a double for Asdrubal Cabrera. Make the score 5-2, and now the Indians will get the tying run to the plate here in the ninth.
First extra base hit of the afternoon. It's going to be a double by Asdrubal Cabrera. Plugs a gap in left center field. Stayed on it nicely. So the walk really comes back at Hurts Rodney, and they will bring the tying run to the plate, and you're bringing one of their best hitters to the plate in a situation right here. First base open, not that that matters. Richard Knapp going out to the mound talking to Fernando Rodney.
So Johnny Peralta scored both Tribe runs today as he's gone 3 for 4 in his return to the lineup. Grady Sizemore on at third. Asdrubal Cabrera on at second. The tying run and Victor Martinez to the plate. As the crowd comes alive here at Progressive Field. And now, Rick, first base is open, but you have Shin-Soo Choo, a lefty, as the next batter. I don't think you want to put the tying run on.
Oh, no, you do not. You got to go after Martinez here.
And Victor Martinez is 2 for 6 in his career against Fernando Rodney with a double, strikeout, and an RBI. And Shin-Soo Choo, who is next, is 2 for 5. But he does have 2 strikeouts. So now the meat of the order for the Tribe. Down by 3 here in the ninth. And Rodney with the first pitch strike to Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez, clutch hitter as his numbers show. That pitch fouled away, so now Rodney gets ahead of him 0-2.
Well, didn't he have Sizemore 0-2 before the walk?
Yep.
Now he had Grady 1-2.
Victor this year hitting .313 with runners in scoring position. He'll have an 0-2 pitch here from Fernando Rodney. That pitch up and gets away from the catcher. That'll score Sizemore 5-3 as Cabrera will move up to third.
He just really tried to throw that one through the wall. It'll go as a wild pitch. He just tried to hump up and throw it as hard as he could and had no clue where this ball was going.
Yeah, and Laird really didn't have much of a chance of grabbing that one. So now 5-3, 1-2 on Martinez. Cabrera at third as the Tribe gets a couple here in the ninth. They still need 2 more. Up and out, 2-2 now to Victor Martinez. It's Fernando Rodney. He's thrown 22 pitches here in the ninth inning. He struggled a little bit last night, Rick. Got through it without surrendering a run, but here today, he's given up 2 in the ninth. The 2-2. Up and out again. Full count to Victor.
How about that? 0-2 to 3-2. Similar at bat to Grady. He had him down in the count and he just lost it all of a sudden. Well, you get this man aboard. You get Victor on, then you probably pinch run for him.
Yep.
Over at first base, being that he would be the tying run.
Now the crowd comes to its feet here at Progressive Field as Victor Martinez. The full count. That pitch was up high but fouled away by Victor. It'll make it to the stands. And he stays alive here in the ninth. Shin-Soo Choo waiting on deck. If they can get to Choo, he'd be the winning run. There's Cabrera on third. Shin-Soo Choo getting ready in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 3 today with the walk. But right now the matchup, Rodney against Martinez here in the ninth. And the payoff pitch from Rodney. Up high, ball 4. The tying run's aboard. The winning run will come to the plate, and Shin-Soo Choo, as Victor says, come on, Shin-Soo, let's go.
Second walk in the inning. And now the Indians hit one out of here. They can win the game. And here comes Josh Barfield to pinch run for Martinez at first base. That'll be the tying run. I'm sure the Tiger outfield will be playing very deep, no doubles defense to try and cut everything off if they can. But Rodney really working himself into a jam here.
So there's Josh Barfield on to pinch run for the Tribe. He's the tying run. After a conference on the mound between the middle infielders and catcher Gerald Laird with Fernando Rodney, he'll face Shin-Soo Choo. As I mentioned, has had success against Rodney in his career. He's 2 for 5 with 2 singles. He has struck out twice. And Shin-Soo Choo is the winning run. How about this, Rick? You're down 5-1 in the 9th inning. A weekend you can't score runs, and all of a sudden, the Tribe here in the bottom of the 9th rallying, trying to pull one out. That pitch low and away to Choo. Mark DeRosa is on deck.
Well, the one thing the Tigers staff did so well this weekend, they didn't give any free passes and free base runners. That's why the Indians are in the situation they're in right here in the 9th. The 2 walks, of course, Peralta got the base hit, and then Cabrera double.
That pitch caught the outside corner, count even at 1. Tying runs aboard here in the 9th. Tribe already has 2 home. Shin-Soo Choo looking to add on. The crowd has come to life here in the 9th inning. That pitch driven high in the air, but to short right field. And that's the final out of the game as Clete Thomas puts it away. So the Indians rally in the 9th. They get 2, but it's not enough. The final score, Detroit 5, Cleveland 2, as the Tigers sweep the weekend series against the Indians. Time now for the KeyBank play of the game, presented